Hey cuties, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, thanks for joining. Kindly like and subscribe if you enjoy watching. Your opinion matters a lot. As you can see, it is an unpopular opinion. Nollywood, the Nigerian film industry, has gained global recognition in the recent years, evolving from a primarily local phenomenon into one of the largest film industries in the world. Its movies are celebrated for their vibrant portrayal of Nigerian culture, relatable stories, and emotional depth. As Nollywood continues to grow, its films have become more accessible with platforms like Netflix and YouTube, giving audiences worldwide access to its content. Despite this surge in popularity, there is an emerging and unpopular opinion that Nollywood movies are overhyped and often, lacking in quality. Critics argue that while the industry has made significant strides, its films still suffer some predictable storylines, poor production values, weak acting, and an overall lack of innovation. This opinion questions whether Nollywood's acclaim is truly deserved or simply a product of its cultural and commercial prominence. To understand the criticism of Nollywood movies, it is important to first recognize the industry's impressive growth. Nollywood emerged in the early 90s with the production of low budget, direct to video films. These early movies were shot quickly, often with handheld cameras and produced in shoestring budgets. Despite their modest beginnings, Nollywood films found a large audience in Nigeria and across Africa due to their relatable stories, which often touched on family dynamics, love, betrayal, and societal issues. By the year 2000s, uh, Nollywood had become a cultural force, producing thousands of films annually and gaining, the attention of international audiences. Its low-budget production model allowed it to churn out films at an unprecedented rate, making it one of the most prolific film industry in the world. However, this rapid growth came at a cost. Critics argue that Nollywood's focus on quantity over quality has led to a cultural of mediocrity, where films are rushed through production without adequate attention to writing, acting, or technical aspects such as cinematography and sound design. One of the most common critiques of Nollywood movies is the lack of innovation in storytelling. Many Nollywood films are accused of recycling the same theme and plot lines over and over again. Common tropes include love triangle, family disputes, infidelity, supernatural events, and rags to riches narratives. While these themes are relatable to many Nigerian viewers, they often lack the depth and originality that audiences expect from quality cinema. For instance, romantic dramas, a staple of Nollywood, frequently rely on the same tired tropes. A wealthy man falls in love with a poor woman, or a love triangle ends in betrayal or heartbreak. These stories, while entertaining, often lack the complexity and nuances that make films memorable. Similarly, the over reliance on supernatural elements such as witchcraft and juju can feel repetitive, especially when these themes are not explored in new or meaningful ways. Critics argue that Nollywood filmmakers too often play it safe, sticking to familiar narratives that they know will appeal to local audiences. While this approach may ensure commercial success, it limits the industry's potential for artistic growth and innovation. In contrast, many successful international film industries, such as Hollywood or Bollywood, are celebrated for their ability to push creative boundaries, explore diverse genres, and experiment with new storytelling techniques. Nollywood, by comparison, is often seen as stagnant and overly reliant on well-worn themes. Another significant criticism of Nollywood movies is the often poor production quality, which undermines the storytelling and overall cinematic experience. While the industry has made notable improvements in recent years, particularly with the rise of new Nollywood films that boast higher budgets and better technique standards, many movies still suffer from glaring aesthetic and technical shortcomings. One of the most common issues is poor cinematography. Many Lollywood films are shot with inadequate lighting, resulting in poorly lit scenes that make it difficult for viewers to engage with the visuals. Similarly, camera work in some films can be shaky or poorly framed, detracting from the immersive experience that good cinematography can provide. These technical flaws are, especially noticeable when Nollywood films are compared to productions from other industries, where attention to details in framing, lighting, and camera movement are prioritized. Sound design is another area where Nollywood movies are often shot. In many films, the audio quality is inconsistent, with dialogue that is either too quiet or drawn out of background noise. Poor sound mixing and can also result in jarring shifts in volume, making it difficult for viewers to follow the plot or engage emotionally with the characters. In addition to this, the use of loud dramatic music to underscore every emotional moment can feel heavy-handed and detract from the subtlety and nuance that effective sound design should bring to a film. Editing is another technical aspect that is frequently criticized. Many Nollywood films suffer from poor pacing due to ineffective editing. Scenes may drag on longer than necessary, or abrupt cuts may disrupt the flow of the narrative. This lack of polish in post production can make even the most compelling stories feel disjointed or unprofessional. While it is true that Nollywood has historically operated on limited budgets, especially in its early years, the industry's recent success and increased access to funding have not always translated into significant improvement in production quality. Critics argue that filmmakers should invest more in technical training and equipment to bring their films up to international standards. Without these improvements, Nollywood risks being seen as a low quality industry even as its influence grows globally. Another area where Nollywood movies are frequently criticized is the quality of acting and directing. While there are undeniably talented actors and directors within the industry, their performances are often inconsistent, and many films suffer from overacting or overwhelming direction. One of the common most complaint is that Nollywood actors tend to overact, relying on exaggerated facial expressions and melodramatic delivery to convey emotion. This style of acting, which may appeal to some local audiences, can feel over the top and unconvincing to others, particularly international viewers who are accustomed to more naturalistic performances. While melodrama has its place in cinema, the excessive use of this style in Nollywood films can detract from the emotional authenticity of the story. In addition to issues with acting, many Nollywood films suffer from weak direction. Directors are responsible for shaping the overall vision of a film, guiding actors, and ensuring that the story is told in a compelling and cohesive way. However, in Nollywood, some directors are criticized for their lack of attention to detail or for failing to get the best performances out of their actors. This can result in films that feel disjointed or amateurish, even when the underlying stories has potential. Moreover, there is a tendency for some Nollywood directors to prioritize quantity over quality, churning out multiple films in a short period of time rather than focusing on refining a single project. This fast food approach to filmmaking can lead to rushed productions where corners are cut, ultimately resulting in a subpar final product. For Nollywood to continue its upward trajectory, critics argue that directors need to invest more time and effort into honing their craft and pushing the boundaries of what is possible within the industry. One of the reasons Nollywood movies are often seen as overhyped is the tension between commercial success and artistic integrity. Nollywood has been immensely successful in terms of its output and its ability to capture a large audience, both within Nigeria and across Africa. Many Nollywood films are produced with the primary goal of making money, which often lead to the prioritization of crowd pleasing elements such as predictable storylines, melodrama, and happy endings over more challenging or thought-provoking content. This focus on commercial success can limit the artistic potentials of Nollywood films, as filmmakers may be reluctant to take creative risk or explore more complex narratives that could alienate their audience. For example, issues such as corruption, inequality, or mental health are rarely addressed in depth, and when they are often simplified or resolved in a way that feels unrealistic or superficial. Critics argue that Nollywood filmmakers should be more willing to tackle difficult topics and experiment with different genres or storytelling techniques rather than sticking to the formula that has worked for them in the past. The critic is not unique to Nollywood. Many film industries around the world face similar tensions between commercial viability and artistic integrity. However, in Nollywood's case, the industry's rapid growth and commercial success have led to some to believe that its films are more hyped than they deserve to be. While there is no doubt that Nollywood has created a powerful cultural platform, critics argue that the film often falls short when it comes to artistic depth and innovation. Is there hope for improvement? Despite the criticisms, Nollywood has made significant strides in recent years with a new wave of filmmakers, actors, and producers committed to raising the standard of the industry. This movement, often referred to as New Nollywood, is characterized by higher production values, more diverse storytelling, and a greater emphasis on quality over quantity. Filmmakers like The Wedding Party, King of Boys, and Living in Bondage, Breaking Free have been praised for their improved cinematography, acting, and direction, signaling that Nollywood is capable of producing world class films. Moreover, the increasing availability of international funding and partnerships has allowed Nollywood to access better resources and technology, enabling filmmakers to experiment with different genres and style. Streaming platforms like Netflix have also provided Nollywood filmmaker with a global platform, giving them the opportunity to reach new audiences and challenge themselves creatively. Critics argue that while these improvements are promising, they are still the exception rather than the norm. Many Nollywood films continue to suffer from the same issues of poor production quality, predictable storytelling, and inconsistent acting. For Nollywood to fully shed its reputation as an industry that prioritizes quantity over quality, more filmmakers will need to embrace the principle of New Nollywood to push for higher standards across the board. The opinion that Nollywood movies are overhyped and lacking quality is rooted in the belief that the industry's rapid growth and commercial success have overshadowed its artistic shortcomings. While Nollywood has undoubtedly made significant contributions to Nigerian culture and has provided entertainment for millions, Critics argue that its films often suffer from poor production values, formulaic storytelling, and inconsistent acting. However, it is also important to recognize the stride that Nollywood has made in recent years, with a new wave of filmmakers coming to raising the bars and producing films that can compete on the global stage. And whether Nollywood movies are overhyped or underappreciated depends on one's perspective. For many Nigerian viewers, Nollywood films are beloved for their relatability and emotional depth, and the industry success is a point of national pride. However, for others, particularly those who compare Nollywood to other global film industries, the industry still has a long way to go in terms of quality and innovation. As Nollywood continues to evolve, it will need to strike a balance between commercial success and artistic integrity if it hopes to maintain its position as a global cultural force. We have reached the end of today's unpopular opinion. I would like to hear your take on this. Kindly leave a comment below, give this video a thumbs up, share with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.